Even better than I was the last time, baby.
Yeah, we back.
I'm good. Better than I was the last time, baby.
We back, and 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 we back.
Better than I was the last time.
Raps just made me anxious, and action made me crazy. Them squares just made me looser, that wax just made me lazy. And I still make this song, and I'ma make another. If you ever actually hit me, better watch out for my brother. Better bet I'll take that deal. Gotta watch out for my mother. Get a watch with all that glitters. Come in clutters, different colors. Been a baller, been for butler, chauffeur, hit a stainer. Did I stutter? Did a ton of drugs and did better than all my alma mater. Money dance, honey's in, Galilee. Make a joke about Leno's hair, then piggyback on Fallon's fleet. Balancing on sporadicity and pure joy. Nightly searches for our bed, and I just came off tour with Troy. But I can't complain, I got some other business. How many lap partners have I since I got suspended? Mr. Bennett, you did it, you did it, you did it, you did a good job. You did a good job, and I'm good.
I'm reimagining myself a forest. I can feel hypermasculinity global warming me. People forgetting the oxygen torsoed in my bushes. Greenhouse affecting me, macho, asking what color my leaves are, and the photosynthesis in my skin barks back the color human. Rooted in Columbus deforestation, recall that a need to prove patriarch was painted onto the timber of the boat. The Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria. First time we see men step all over women. Dad told me not to use hand gestures when I speak. Called it weak. Mom does it all the time. So now I don't know if I can call her strong. We are in Jewel. Cashier looks at me, eyes of stuttering uncertainty, asks if I'm a boy or a girl. Dad looks at her like she took our Adam's apple and put it back in the fruit section. Said, the next time that happens, show him these nuts. So I imagine my testicles as acorns. Most appreciated when they're found on the ground, not when the nuts are thrown in your face. Some girl quote tweeted my picture talking about some, I don't know if he's handsome or pretty, leaving my branches to wonder how we managed to give compliments a private part. My uncle teases a man for wearing a shirt with flowers on it. He loves pulling out his nuts, but is scared to walk the nature trails in fear of feminine ivy. Theo, Xochipilli, also known as the Aztec flower prince, was praised for his positive, creative energies, which you certainly lack at this point. And stop denying all the flower inside of you. The more you deny it, the more we can see the pollen sweating from your scalp. Don't call me feminine because I don't work out. Living in the city gives you no excuse to disrespect all this human nature. There is ritual in the feminine male, the native calling of the two-spirited people. Yes, my spirits can have a three-way call with God and ask him to come and brush my hair. The place where the Barbie drives the race car to school in a Batman outfit, rides My Little Pony at recess, then turns into Ninja Turtle with long curly hair that floats in wind like Navo. Prayer. Hair doesn't measure the bulk of strength, the same way the fullness of leaves doesn't measure the age of the tree. There is bonus in breaking the borders of your body and not being bound to the boldness of your boner. I mean, what do you think hypermasculinity bought global warming for Earth Day? These nuts? We, the government's finest conception, nothing but steel, a swollen compromise of all metals, periodic posture in the way we fold into caskets, robotic procedure present every time we bear death. So many of us. An army of unjustified repeats and agains. Our construction is as follows. Crime scenes carried to production line. Quality control catches cops clear of any evidence. Conveyor belt transition from umbilical to biblical sermons at your wake. Bodies polished for a peace to rest in. Pieces of eternal rest for men and women who have yet to navigate a defect to terminate this system. A contoured collection of color and cosmic copies. Copy that. Freddie Gray, cloned April 19th, Baltimore. So malignant the way they carefully cracked his skeletal system. Officers were creative with the coalition of his abdomen, created a crash course out of his bones, and told all of their colleagues to read it. A contoured collection of color and cosmic copies. Copy that. Tamir Rice, cloned November 22nd, Cleveland. His hands of youthful bellows and gleeful dialogue. Officers were informed that the gun was probably a fake, but called Tamir a criminal before they saw the toy gun. He was cloned so young. They shoot playfully at the sky like all black women conceive our toy sons. A contoured collection of color and cosmic copies. Copy that. Laquan McDonald, cloned October 24th, Chicago. 10 feet from firearm. They say he was under the influence. They didn't say he was crazy. They say he had drugs in his system. They didn't say he was mentally unstable. They say his blood was red, his shooter white. They didn't say he was a target. They say 16 shots. They didn't say 1 and 15 for institutional racism. They say babies feel what their mothers do. So to Tina Hunter, how does it feel to be 16 bullets less human? A contoured collection of color and cosmic copies. Copy that. Copy that. Copy that. We, constructed by an avalanche of homicides. We, corruption never noticed when we testify. We keep cloning every time we die and multiply and multiply and multiply. But we be the defect. We be the defect. We be the defect. We stand. Solidarity sewn on the front line of every paisley print coiled under eye lobe. March, push against plastic shields, dividing righteousness and recycle bins full of victim stories. Anchor our ground with feet ready for war, ready for police to look at their badges like their only wish upon that star is to revive those whose names rest on tombstones rather than diplomas. Burn buildings, lay on expressways, stand in subways, sit in silence, write these poems to defect this contoured collection of color and cosmic copies. Copy that.